Let's do this.
All right.
We're doing it. Pay no attention to the markings on our head. They mean nothing. And it has nothing to do with what this episode is about.
Nothing.
Okay? This episode is about Star Wars. We're doing the Star Wars. Right?
Yeah, I did.
This is like a Sith lightning.
Yeah, something like, dude. I was thinking about this the other day. Like, how could we have forgotten to mention that Jedi literally use the Force to refract light through crystals to fight the dark side?
Yeah, I know. We've talked about Star Wars on
the
so
proof
many
is
episodes,
there, dude.
and we never did that.
Yeah,
we never.
The proof is in the pudding.
They quite literally have like weapons of peace that refract light through crystals, kyber crystals.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's
what
epic.
is this really about?
Star Wars. No, this episode's about Harry freaking Potter, dude. Harry freaking Potter.
Yes,
It's a fandom that I have come to love so much that I refuse to watch for years because of the dumbest reason, which was that like I was like, Lord of the Rings is cooler, so that means I'm not going to watch Harry Potter.
Makes
or read
sense.
it. I did the same thing with Game of Thrones. I'm not going to watch Game of Thrones because Lord of the Rings is cooler.
Yeah, I remember that. You're like, it's the worst show ever. And then you're like, it's the best
It's the best
ever.
show literally
Yeah,
ever made.
It's that black and white duality.
Literally, it's either black or white.
Yeah.
It's there's no in between.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it'd be like that. No, we're talking about Harry Potter. I just read the books and watched the movies for the first time like a couple years ago. And like they blew my mind wide open.
Yeah.
For many reasons. First of all, they're just incredible. They're just incredible
Yeah.
stories, but also like, dude, dripping with esoteric knowledge, dripping with all sorts of symbolism, and like it goes real deep. Like I always knew there was like esoteric symbolism and you know, like in the movie or in the stories or whatever, but like until I really did a deep dive, I didn't quite know how crazy esoteric it
It's
actually
deep,
is.
dude.
Every little detail is dripping with esoteric knowledge. So we're doing Harry Potter, and before we get into that, we thought it would be fun to figure out what house. If you haven't seen Harry Potter, there's 4 houses that the students get sorted into based on kind of like their personalities, or their destiny. They put a magic hat on.
It's kind of like astrological when you think about it.
Yeah, it kind of is. It really is. They kind of like survey the destiny of the. Yeah, that's true.
I didn't think about that.
They put a magic talking hat on each kid, and the hat like reads the kid's destiny.
Dude, you're talking about quite literally one of the most famous fiction franchises of all time, as if they don't know.
Well, I'm telling Alex.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was
telling
actually
Alex.
about to ask.
Yeah, I'm telling
It's just
Alex.
one hat. It's its own character.
It's the sorting
It's a
hat.
character. Yeah,
Okay.
it like
Yeah.
talks and everything.
Yeah.
It's got a
Yeah.
mouth.
His mouth, he literally talks to the. They put the hat on the kid's head, and he like he like thinks about it and like
Okay.
reads
So
their mind. And
Harry
stuff.
Potter's in the Harry Potter land's in Universal, right?
Yes, and
yeah,
it's
I've been
dope.
there. It's
Have you?
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't been. I would love.
It's
to.
I'm
awesome.
scared of the butterbeer.
Why?
it's good, man.
I'm sure it is.
So much sugar.
Never got it.
Really?
I had
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Delicious.
So much sugar. I'm certain.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's an official Harry Potter website called Pottermore where you can go and like take a short quiz to find out what house you would be placed in. So we thought it would be fun. I've done the quiz already. I got Gryffindor as my house, which I was happy with. But they also said like Slytherin tendencies too, which like I'm dressed the part of Slytherin. Nick is serving Slytherin realness today. Like I'm literally wearing dark green and black. Like
I'm gonna be pretty disappointed if I don't get Gryffindor.
I mean, did you do that on purpose?
Yeah, we're in red.
That's epic.
Yeah.
So we're gonna find out what house Ryan and Alex belong to, even though Alex has
never seen Harry Potter.
never seen a movie.
Still hasn't seen
A
Dune,
whole
for the love of
movie.
God.
A whole movie.
What'd you say?
Still hasn't seen Dune.
That's true.
Hasn't even seen Star Wars. So
You've seen one of them, right?
A couple of
Yeah.
them, maybe. I've seen some Harry Potter things.
Yeah.
Like maybe bits and pieces.
they're so cool. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't really talk because I literally refused to watch it like an idiot for so
Well,
many years.
My mom and girlfriend both love it.
Really?
Yeah, so it's like I can't really
Avoid it.
avoid it.
I was also, though, to be fair, like growing up, I was explicitly not allowed to read or watch Harry Potter. Like my parents were very strictly like, no, not gonna happen
Yeah.
because of all like witchcraft or whatever. But it's like it's not evil at all.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
actually really, really positive and influential. But anyway, we're gonna do this quiz. So,
All right, you want to knock it out?
Yeah.
All right, I'm
read
gonna
the
begin.
read the stuff out
So
loud.
it says, choose one to continue, stars or the moon. I'm going to pick the stars.
Okay.
One of your housemates has cheated in a Hogwarts exam by using by using a self-spelling quill.
Oh, how dare they!
How dare them! Now he has come to the top of his class in charms, beating you in second place. I feel like I'm doing role play right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Professor,
Are you doing it too?
No, my questions are a different order.
Are they really?
did you pick
Yeah.
the moon?
Well, mine asked me dusk or dawn.
Oh, so we're getting slightly different
Yeah.
variations.
Mystical.
Okay.
Professor Flitwick
Professor Flitwick.
is suspicious of what happened. He draws you to one side after his lesson and asks you whether or not your classmate used a forbidden quill. What do? I ain't gonna tell on him. Tell him the truth. If your classmate is prepared to win by cheating, he deserves to be found out. Also, you are both in the same house. Oh, that's right. I don't want to lose points.
Yeah, you'll lose points if you tell on them. This is literally like one of those quizzes in school where it's like train A is moving at this speed at this angle and train B is moving at this speed at this angle.
You would not wait to be what? You would not wait to be asked to tell him the truth. If you knew that somebody was using a forbidden quill, you would tell the teacher. That's the same answer twice. Lie and say you don't know, but hope that somebody else tells Professor Flitwick. You know what? Harry Potter always did that. He always lied to the professors.
He did.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
And tell Professor Flitwick that he ought to ask your classmate. That's probably what I would do. I'd say, I don't know, ask them. All right, I'll pick that one.
I'm curious. I really am curious. I've had a lot of people do this quiz, and usually, like, I feel like the end result is like pretty spot on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel
All
like
right, let's see. What are you most looking forward to learning? All about magical creatures and how to befriend them. Flying on a broomstick, that'd be pretty dope. Apparition and disapparition, being able to like
Apparate, yeah.
materialize and dematerialize. Secrets about the castle, that'd be dope. Transfiguration, turning into like an animal. Hexes and jinxes, dope.
yeah.
Every area of magic I can, yeah, I'd want to learn it all. Ooh,
I'd want to learn it all.
I'd want to learn it all. A troll has gone berserk in the headmaster's study at Hogwarts. It's about to smash, crush, and tear several.
Yeah, get into it. Yeah, get into it.
Yeah.
Get real into
Smash, crush, tear.
it. Yeah.
Several irreplaceable items and treasures. In which order would you rescue these objects from the troll's club if you
Ooh,
could?
that's so specific.
A nearly perfected cure for the dragon pox.
Yeah, listen, we all know dragonpox is a real blight. You know, it's a real problem.
I don't see the other answers, so I guess I'll pick 2 for that. Oh, no. I picked 3. Student records going back 1,000 years.
Ruined your entire life by that one
I probably
misclick.
did. Student records going back 1,000 years. I'll pick 2 for that one. A mysterious handwritten book full of strange runes. Yeah, that's definitely number 1.
Oh, dude, that's got you written all over it.
Yeah.
A strange book with strange runes. That's you 100%.
First, a mysterious handwritten book full of strange runes. Then student records going back 1,000 years. Finally, no, I'm gonna reorder that. I'm gonna put the perfected cure at number 2 because it's giving me a chance to rewrite. All right, cool, fixed it. Which of the following would you most hate people to call you? Ignorant, selfish, ordinary, cowardly. Probably ordinary.
Aw, you're
You en-
special.
you enter-
I think you're special, Ryan.
Thank you. I think you're special too, Voldemort.
What? I told him before we started because we had the genius idea of putting these little scars on our head
Yeah.
to do the episode because we thought it would be fun. And I was like, I definitely look more like Voldemort right
Yeah.
now. I'm literally bald, and I have like a dark green sweater on. If you're not watching the video,
You enter an enchanted garden. What would you be most curious to examine first? The fat red toadstools that appear to be talking to each other. The
mushrooms.
The mushrooms are talking to each other, man.
Yeah, this is already getting esoteric.
It's magical mushrooms.
Yeah, this is already getting deep.
The bubbling pool in the depths of which something luminous is swirling.
Ooh.
The silver-leaf tree bearing golden apples. Oh. The
Ugh.
statue of an old wizard with a strangely twinkling eye. Ooh, man, this is a hard one. I'd probably want to examine either the mushrooms or the statue. I'll pick the statue.
Nice.
You're so excited you're getting choked up.
I know.
Did you finish?
Yeah, I'm done.
If you were attending Hogwarts, which
Hold
pet
it.
would you choose? A cat, a toad, or an owl? Dang, dude, I'd probably choose a cat.
Yeah, cats are the best.
Yeah, they're dope.
Cats are the best. In real life and in Harry Potter.
Would it be a ginger cat,
Crookshanks?
a white cat, a Siamese cat, a tabby, or a
Ooh.
black cat? Definitely a black cat.
Yeah,
I
they're-
own a black cat.
They're the
in real
most
life.
magical.
Choose one to continue. Right or left? Right. How does this?
Listen, man.
It's ready.
It's ready?
Oh, God.
All right, here we go. They both got their results. Let's see. What is it? Is it? What is it?
Gryffindor.
Yeah! Gryffindor!
We out here slapping, homie.
Slopping?
Slapping.
Oh, slapping. I thought you said
No,
slopping.
no, we
I
ain't
was like-
slopping.
I was like, that's a different thing.
Yeah, that's a totally.
That's a different
thing.
podcast.
We're not slopping.
That's our other podcast.
Yeah, we don't do that.
That's our M-rated podcast.
Yeah.
What's yours?
What?
What's your house? What's your house?
Hufflepuff.
Hey, Hufflepuff.
What?
Yeah.
Hufflepuffs are like the purest hearts. I feel like
Yeah.
they're like the sweeties.
Well, it
That's
means close to nothing to me.
That's
So-
yeah. I know you literally have no idea what that means.
Dope, dude.
Hell yeah, you're a Gryffindor.
Aye, homie.
We're in the house together.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
That's pretty dope.
We're
I was
Griffs.
kind of hoping for that.
I am interested to know, by the way, I want to know like what percent of our viewership like actually likes Harry Potter. So you guys should like comment or like comment in the YouTube or tweet us or something and just let us know if you're into Harry Potter because I want to see how many of you
Or
are
your
into it.
house sorting result.
Oh yeah, totally. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that. Like, I feel like a lot of our listeners that comment and come and talk on the Twitter and stuff are like recurring. Like, we
Yeah.
get to hang out with the same kind of like people a lot.
Yeah.
And it's a sizable group of people, but we get to talk to kind of the same people a lot. So I'd be really interested to see what.
Yeah,
those people,
yeah, that'd be dope.
yeah.
I don't know. I think Harry Potter. Oh, I'm not supposed to touch my little scar.
Right, because bad things will happen.
Oh yeah, dude. Bad
Yeah.
luck. Yeah, no. I think that movies are like the best medium ever created to transmit complex occult themes that are borderline subliminal. You know, so that you're seeing these deep esoteric themes, but you're not necessarily catching on. Like most people don't know when they watch movies that there's occult symbolism in it. But the
Yeah.
reason Harry Potter's so
Yeah.
dope is because it's blatant and people still haven't caught on. At least like mainstream audiences.
Even in my research for this episode, even J.K. Rowling herself has said like it's very obvious.
yeah.
Like the religious and esoteric symbolism that I've kind of placed into these books. She's like, I feel like it's extremely obvious. She also said, like, as the books went on, it got like it became more and more influenced by
yeah.
esotericism and whatever. But like, it's really obvious that from the jump, it was inspired by.
Dude, the first book is The Philosopher's Stone. Now, people
I
are
mean,
going to
come
say,
on.
no, it's not. It's Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Well, actually,
Yeah.
when, obviously they're British books.
Yeah.
And when the first Harry Potter came out, it was titled Harry Potter and the Philosopher's
Yeah.
Stone. And then they changed it to be The Sorcerer's Stone
For Americans.
for American audiences.
Yeah, it's which is so funny.
But it's crazy because, like, it starts out being the Philosopher's Stone is this crystal. It's a literal crystal.
Mhm.
It kind of looks like a ruby. And then by the end, by the 7th book, viewers don't know this, but the symbol of the Deathly Hallows, without the line through the middle, is
Is the
actually the
Philosopher's Stone.
real ancient alchemical Philosopher's
Yeah.
Stone with
Yeah.
the triangle and the circle.
It
It
is
came full
so-
circle.
It's so blatant.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah,
is so blatant, which is dope. I think that's cool. But
Oh, yeah.
what? So I think it'd be cool to talk about like what is your experience with Harry Potter? Like just talk about like how you discovered it
Okay.
and kind of your
I was 8 years old. So that would have been 2001, 2002. Whenever it came out, you can look it up. I saw the commercial on TV for the first movie.
Oh right,
in
right.
elementary school.
Yeah.
And obviously that commercial, I'm a little kid in the early 2000s. Like I don't have internet. There's no TikTok, Facebook, all that stuff. We're not getting the same transmission of like, yo, all these movies are coming out. Back then it was like you saw it on TV, Mom, I want to see that. You know what I mean?
That's the wild thing is like, I think about that a lot. Today, we know that a movie's going to come out
Years.
2.5 years before it comes out.
And we know every detail about it. Yeah.
Every detail.
Well,
now
minus
it's literally like 3 months, or back then it was like you see it like 3 months before the movie comes out, but now it's like 2.5 years. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah. So I saw the trailer for the movie when I was a little kid, and this was before all the UFO stuff. I just always liked like fantasy and mystical things, not the occult. I'm a little kid, you know, and I see the commercial and I'm like, you know, this looks so cool. I was captivated, and I guess my older brother Chris Jr. had. You know, he's 4 years older than me. You know, he was 12 at the time.
Right.
He had the first 4 books. I had never heard of them. You know, I'm just a little kid.
Oh, I didn't know that. So he was into the books.
Yeah, he already had them.
Oh, nice.
I just didn't know about them, you know, like whatever. I saw the commercial. Chris Jr., he has them. He lets me borrow them. I kind of like basically stole them and made them my own.
Yeah.
And I read the first like 3 or 4, and then it might have been the first 3. I'm not sure if the 4th one was even out at that point yet. But I read the first few, and then the movie came out. Watched the movie. I was obsessed. And then from the age of 8 years old to 17 years old, I was reading, you know, from the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Or, there's no 8th. You know what I mean?
There is an 8th movie, but yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said that. But
right.
the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, as they came out.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I was such a super fan as a kid. I was going to like the day releases,
the midnight
like
releases?
pre-orders. Yeah.
That's
well,
so
I didn't go at
cool.
midnight. I was a kid, but
that's so.
You know,
dope.
I was pre-ordering the books, and like
you
anyway.
were like real time involved in the phenomenon of it. That's
I
so
was
cool.
real time involved and like reading them as they came out. You know, most kids our age were, and watching the movies. And then the final movie came out when I was a senior in high school at 17. And
that's so cool.
Yeah, I followed it as it came out, and dude, this is so bad. I was such a mega nerd. But I read through Harry Potter 3 times back when I was in school.
Didn't you also read one of them in one night? Wasn't there one of them that you literally read the entire book in a single night?
The 7th one.
Which is like one of the longer ones.
Yeah. It's like 680 something, 700 pages. I read it in one sitting. Yeah.
Did you like that's insane.
It was 12 hours.
That's like, it was like 600 pages at least.
At least, minimum.
At least.
I'm pretty sure it was like
I know
700
Order of the
pages.
Phoenix. Order of the Phoenix is the longest one, right?
It's like 700 or 800.
Yeah.
And then they get a little shorter. A little.
It's so funny too, because Order of the Phoenix was the one that I read the quickest.
Really?
I finished that one because I thought that was maybe my favorite book.
They're all excellent.
So good.
They're all
and I
excellent.
so regret not being into it like as a kid or not being into it earlier. But I mean, I'm just happy that I'm into it now. So like,
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite one?
Favorite book?
And / movie?
I don't know. Like, you know, I've read it 3 times. I had been reading it since I was a little kid, so I kind of had like a different sort of nostalgic, emotional attachment to them. I always felt like the 6th book was my favorite.
Really?
Yeah, but thinking
It's a really cool one.
back on it, because that's when you learn about the Horcruxes, and obviously, you know.
Which is wild. You don't learn about them explicitly. That it was like dropping little hints the whole time, but you don't learn about them explicitly until the 6th.
Until
book.
the 6th book.
Crazy.
And it was all this knowledge dump, and I was like, you know, it was like, oh my God, this is so crazy.
Mind blowing.
Yeah, but I always really liked the 6th one for some reason, which is a lot of people's least favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, genuinely, I adored every single one of them.
Yeah.
I didn't think one of them was less good than any other. Like, I was in love with all of them.
Yeah.
But I have to say, I think the one that, like, blew my mind the most was Goblet of Fire.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. That's most people's opinion.
It's the turning point. I mean, a lot of people say that the third one's Prisoner of Azkaban,
Prisoners
right?
of Azkaban,
A lot of
yeah.
people say that one's the turning point.
It's when it gets darker.
It definitely starts to get a little darker there.
There's like literally a serial killer on the loose.
Yeah. But which like Sirius Black is such a cool character.
Yeah.
But which like already in the name that's occult.
Sirius Black, the dog star.
Literally,
Yeah.
Sirius, the
Anubis, the
Black
dog,
Dog.
guides souls to the underworld. Yeah.
exactly. It's
yeah.
already
That's Masonic, the blazing star Sirius.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the name already. But Goblet of Fire was like the one to me where it took a shocking turn. It went from like a fun kids wizard book to like
Murder, occult ritual,
literally there's
human
like
sacrifice.
there's human sacrifice. This fucking demon is rising out of a cauldron. Like you're like, what the fuck?
from a fetus.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, what? I remember this just happened 2 years ago. I was like, literally like, what the fuck is happening? Like, oh my God. It blew my mind. And yeah, so I think that's probably the one that I have the most attachment to. It's so cool. But anyway, so now let's get into like the real deep, crazy, esoteric stuff. It's dripping.
I'm honestly curious to see what you discovered.
I found a lot. And I have tons of notes here.
Yeah.
So first of all, we already talked about Philosopher's Stone.
Yep.
And how like the Philosopher's Stone is an
Right.
occult thing.
Yeah.
But and I think we've mentioned it before, but in the book and movie, Nicholas Flamel is mentioned.
Yes.
As like the finder of the Philosopher's Stone,
Mhm.
and that is the actual like in history, in alchemical history, like
Yep.
that
He was
is
a real living person.
Yeah, he was a real living
He
person.
was searching for the Philosopher's Stone.
Now, I don't know if you knew about this one. There's a do you know Ronsky?
No.
Okay, so he's actually like Flamel. He's a historical alchemical wizard. You know, you
Yeah.
use that term or whatever.
Yeah.
And in Harry Potter, he like developed this like a Quidditch maneuver. They called it the Ronsky maneuver.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's actually.
I didn't catch that. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So that's another cool one. You know one of the books in the curriculum that the kids have to get from. What was the name of it? Oh, Diagon Alley.
Uh-huh.
One of the books that they have
I've
to
been
get
there.
at the
In Universal Studios. They have a scale Diagon Alley that you walk through with shops.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude. You go into Ollivanders and the bookstore. Yeah.
I already loved Universal Studios. Like the Spider-Man ride there is
Oh,
like,
it's so good.
it's like my favorite ride.
I watched a TikTok on it the other day.
Really?
Yeah.
And they've updated it since I've been, so like I really want to go.
Universal's way underrated.
Oh, dude.
It's so good.
The Hulk roller coaster
Yeah, dude.
is insane.
That was my first major roller coaster.
It's insane.
It is.
Dude.
It's insane.
There's like they have a whole section of all like comic book characters and stuff, like the Doctor Doom
Before
thing.
Disney owned Marvel, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But anyway, one of the books that they have to get is The History of Magic,
Mm-hmm.
which is a book written by Eliphas Levi.
No way!
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like, yeah,
That's the most
straight up.
mind-blowing one.
Yes.
Oh
straight
my
up.
god.
The History of Magic by Eliphas
he
Levi.
drew the Baphomet.
Yeah.
He's the first artist of the Baphomet.
Yes. And
Wow.
it's the same.
And
They literally read that's in their curriculum.
you know what's crazy about that? So Eliphas Levi was a very famous French occultist from, I think it was the 1800s. I don't know. It can easily be Googled. And he drew the very infamous occult symbol of the Seal of Solomon. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah,
Six-pointed star. It's like a light side of Solomon's head pointing up and a dark side of Solomon's head pointing down. Obviously, it's duality.
Yeah.
That symbol, that very symbol, is in the movie that we talked about on the Hell episode, As Above, So Below.
Right.
And remember, they're also going to the tomb of Nicholas Flamel. So there's an Eliphas Levi, Nicholas Flamel connection and two pop culture references.
Yeah, and they marked that symbol on the tomb, which really interestingly, I don't even know if I wrote this in my notes, but in Chamber of Secrets, they mark a serpent in the bathroom, which leads to the underworld.
Yeah.
Which is the Chamber of Secrets, which, by the way, is where what creature lives?
The basilisk.
Which is an alchemical creature in alchemical history. That's where the basilisk comes from.
Wow.
Alchemical, actual, like...
See, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
And also, spoiler alert, that's like one of the Horcruxes, or the Horcruxes can be destroyed with the basilisk's fang.
Do you know what I was taught by the Rosicrucian about serpent symbolism and what it really means?
That plays a huge part about what we're talking about today, so
Really?
please tell me.
Okay, so you know how everybody thinks like, oh, Satan, he's the snake, it's evil. It's not.
Oh, Satan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In ancient esoteric symbolism, the serpent is not evil. Like if you look at the eye of Ra and Horus, the eyebrow is called the uraeus. It's a cobra, right?
Yeah.
The pharaohs of ancient Egypt always had like a cobra uraeus on their eyes, or like, you know, some of the priests of Ra would have like a serpent on their head. It's not an evil symbol. What they believed in the ancient past was that anything evolved enough. And listen, I know I talk mad shit about Darwinian evolution, and people are like, you don't believe in evolution? That's whack. No, I don't believe in Darwinian evolution. I believe in consciousness evolution. How, throughout time we are evolving, but there's also the creation element involved. It's all intertwined. Science and creation they're one.
If you don't mind me asking, what is it about the Darwinian thing that you don't jive with?
It's because it is a dogma that is strictly trying to convey that we are spontaneously evolved. No spiritual reality. It's that materialist worldview. It's the random. It's literally written about in God, I can't remember the book by Aleister Crowley, but he talks about how the great work of their occult circles is trying to bring about the Aeon of Horus, where they're trying to push secularism on the masses. They're trying to destroy any sort of like spiritual thought, with us. And Darwinian evolution brought this scientific revolution of like atheism, material science. Bro, back in the Renaissance era in the 1400s, most people think that it's like, remember when we were in high school and we're learning about the Renaissance era, and it's like the poets and the artists were like Da Vinci and Michelangelo, they're making all this badass sexy art, and we had this explosion of art and pop culture.
Yeah.
No, it was an explosion of esoteric alchemical philosophy that leaked into the art. We were a very spiritual people up until about the 1800s, and then the modern scientific dogma started spreading, and Darwinian and the Big Bang. And I don't think the Big Bang didn't happen. I just think that they leave out the part of the equation how the material reality sprung forth from the spirit world. It's just a fact. It's a law of reality.
So you see those two concepts as mutually exclusive?
I believe evolution is real.
Okay.
We evolved.
Yeah.
I believe that the soul, the consciousness, this material world comes from the spirit world, right? They're mirror images of one another, as above, so below, right? This world is an emanation or like a mirror
projection.
Image. It's a projection. Yeah, that's a great way to say it. It's a projection from the higher spirit world, right? The spirit, remember what the 5-pointed star means while it's pointing upward, that spiral math. People are like, what the hell is he? It's going down so many rabbit holes. This is how my brain works.
Yeah.
But
we're ADHD up
yeah,
in
very,
here,
very,
y'all.
very. I just go down these rabbit holes. But like that's the esoteric function of consciousness, is it's constantly evolving up back towards the source of reality, the ultimate source, the white light, consciousness, one, unity, collective consciousness, et cetera, et cetera. The physical world, remember, it's that lower projection. It's mirroring that. But as you live your life in this little game or this little prison or illusion or whatever esoteric school you want to use their terminology, you are mirroring that path of the higher spirit world, and you're evolving up towards that spirit world.
Okay, real quick. This is crazy because as you've been talking this whole time, there are multiple
You smudged your scar, dude.
Did I really?
Yeah, it's okay.
Damn it.
Okay.
I felt myself go like this, and I was like, I swear to God, if I just messed up my scar.
You know what? We're in this together, bro.
I'm sad about it. Thanks, man.
Remember my bachelor party?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. We're always
in this together, man.
We're always in it together. High School Musical.
Yeah.
What? Anyway, so you were just talking about how the spirit spirals up, and
spirals
then there's
up
also
forever.
a spiral down.
Yep.
There have been multiple times throughout what you were saying where I wanted to jump in with some Harry Potter shit, but I'm going to do it this time.
Yeah.
So, Kabbalah, right?
Jewish mysticism.
The Tree of Life.
Uh-huh.
So the path from top to bottom.
I already know this is about to blow my mind.
You know what it's called? The top when you go. So there's the emanation. The Tree of Life is the emanations of the ineffable God.
Yes,
is what it's
and
like.
It's 10. It's like it's drawn as like 10 circles.
Which, by the way, fun fact. Did you know that directly mirrors tarot?
Yes.
So cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
The name for the path of the Tree of Life from top down is called the lightning bolt path.
You know what? I actually knew that.
It's the lightning bolt
I
path.
actually knew that.
You know what?
Thor, lightning bolt.
Yeah. And it literally, if you look at the Kabbalah, if you look at the Tree of Life, the path down literally goes
you trace it like a lightning bolt.
In a lightning bolt down.
Wow, I didn't think about that though.
You know what
the lightning bolt score.
You know what the path up is called?
What?
The path of the serpent.
Harry Potter speaks to snakes.
Literally. Whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, way more than just that. There's like Slytherin, Nagini, the snake,
Voldemort, snake-like,
the parcel tongue. I mean, it's all about the lightning bolt, the serpent, which that is insanely mind-blowing, by the way.
Oh, I was going to tell you this real quick.
Yeah.
Save that. What I learned from the Rosicrucian guy, considering the true spiritual science passed down since Egypt, that consciousness itself is evolving, the physical biology of this realm that we're in, it's all evolving. Evolution is real, right? I'm not one of those like fundamental Christians who are like, evolution ain't real. I know evolution's real, right?
Sure.
It's real.
Yeah.
It's real. But as consciousness and the spirit evolves throughout individual, our individual destinies, but also our destiny as a realm, as a planet, as a species, whatever you want to call it. The biology of our, that's basically containing our consciousness is evolving to reflect the faculties of consciousness. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now we have this intelligent consciousness. We can summon symbols in our mind and use sonic vibrations to manipulate the airwaves in front of us to convey the complex patterns behind those geometric symbols that are written on paper. And we can speak and we can spell spells. We can spell out words with our consciousness. We're powerful. We're like these magical beings, right? We've evolved to this point of consciousness, and our body reflects that.
Oh, yo, keep going.
We can harness the powers of our consciousness to project the images and thoughts and feelings from our minds and change the way that others perceive this shared reality, right? So when you talk to particularly the Rosicrucian I studied with, he told me about serpents.
Wait, real quick about the word thing.
Okay.
In the last Harry Potter book, there's a quote from Dumbledore, which is just, it's going to blow your mind. He says, "Words are, in my not so humble opinion, our most inexhaustible source of magic.
Yeah.
Capable of both inflicting injury and remedying it."
Yeah. And also, a lot of the Harry Potter spells, from what I always heard as a kid, this could be totally bullshit, but I heard they were like real Latin ancient spells.
Yeah, I actually looked into that because I think I remember you telling me that. A lot of them are. Some of them are just like pulled from different languages,
right?
But they all mean like very, magical, esoteric.
They mean something similar to
Yes.
like what the spell is. It's not mumbo jumbo.
Exactly. Like Aloha Mora, I think in like a South African language maybe means like the keys within or something like that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
It's freaking word magic, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's literally, when you think about it, the magic is in the words. That's deep. I never really thought about that. The magic is in the words, and they just have a little wooden stick that can like harness the vibrations.
It just channels it.
Yeah. But freaking okay. So what I was taught was beings that have evolved enough in the physical world to have a spinal column are beings that have that spark of divinity, like a soul or a spirit. You're evolving upwards toward that consciousness. The body is developing a spinal vertebrae connected to a brain with a brainstem, right? In ancient cultures, the serpent was considered the most sacred animal in nature because all it is a spinal column and a brain. That's it.
Yeah. In some of the research, like in ancient like Aztec, Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah.
He's
it's the sky serpent.
And he's covered in feathers.
Yeah.
So this is a reoccurring theme in Harry Potter. Harry Potter, I think one of the strongest themes maybe in Harry Potter is duality.
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
It's the whole.
It's good versus evil.
The whole thing is about. But what's cool is it's all like Harry and Voldemort, or like or like Dumbledore, Voldemort, Harry, Snape, whatever. But the cool thing is that it's like Harry Potter himself. He's got some darkness in him.
Yeah.
And then like Snape, who is like seen as like this dark character, is actually really good and intentioned inside.
Yeah.
There's like this duality. It's very yin yang. Like it's full of duality, and
it's also like a Christ and an Antichrist figure.
Yeah, totally. Dude. I mean, as far as Christ-like symbolism, Harry Potter is wrought with it.
He's sacrificed. He dies.
He literally
goes
dies
to the
and is
spirit world,
resurrected.
which is the underworld, and he's reborn,
Yeah, he literally
and
does.
he becomes fully realized as the hero, and he's
Yeah.
able to defeat. There's a lot of moving parts
There are
to Harry Potter.
there
like,
are so many.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Even
it's really a mind blowing lore.
it's truly, it feels like every little detail was thought
It's
about
calculated.
and means something.
yeah.
Like there are a lot of people going back. We're bouncing all around today, so it's
cool. Dude,
just
it's our
follow us.
conversation, bro.
Yeah. Going back to the Kabbalah Tree of Life thing, the Sephiroths,
Yeah.
the circles.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of philosophers and people that study esoteric knowledge that believe that that's why Harry's glasses are round, because it's like he's seeing through the lens of the Tree of Life. And that's like one of the things that they believe maybe.
I wore my round glasses tonight just for this.
Yeah.
Episode. This is the first episode I recorded with glasses.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
You said
yeah.
that on one of the previous episodes. But we were also talking about the basilisk. So the basilisk is killed by using the sword of Gryffindor, Godric Gryffindor's sword, which is a flaming sword.
Sword in the stone.
Sword in the stone,
Swords
first of
are
all.
occult symbolism. Yeah.
Well, also one of the paths of the Tree of Life is called the Path of the Flaming Sword.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
It's literally everywhere. So anyway, that kind of wraps up the Kabbalah portion of what I wanted to talk about. Let's go back to the feather and the serpent thing.
Mhm.
There's this the serpent symbolism. First of all, it's all from the first episode. There's like
he talks to a snake. It's like one of the first thing he does
it's
before he even knows he's a wizard. He talks to the snake at the zoo. Remember?
Here's okay. I didn't put this in my notes, but since you brought it up, a lot of people draw parallels with that scene to the Garden of Eden, because the snake, it reveals to
Yeah.
Eve, like and that was Harry's first magic experience.
Yeah.
That was his first magic experience, was talking to the snake, realizing he can talk to the
That's
snake.
mind blowing.
And then
see,
he
I read
freed
that
it.
like I haven't read the book since I was like 17. I'm 28 now. You
Yeah.
know, so it's all that's crazy.
That's his first
Yeah,
magic.
and you know what?
experience.
Let's go even deeper on that. So
Yeah,
the
yeah.
staff of Hermes Trismegistus,
Uh-huh.
Mercury, Thoth. It's also known as a wand.
Well, that's in my note. The caduceus.
The caduceus.
Yeah. So
It's the serpent's-
It's known as the Herald's wand. And
Harold Potter.
no, you did not just say Harold Potter. Yeah, in Greco-Egyptian mythology, it's wielded by. Do you know?
Asclepius? Or am I wrong there?
Hermes Trismegistus.
Oh yeah.
Hermes Trismegistus wields the Herald's wand, which is two serpents
Yeah.
surrounding a literal wand. Like the symbol is literally a wand.
Right.
By the way, that symbol is used on like hospitals and like it's like a medical symbol. There's a wand on it. There's literally a wand.
I know,
on it.
bro. You ready for your mind blown?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what the staff is? Esoterically?
Don't tell me it's a member.
No. That's
Please
the
don't-
obelisk.
Please don't tell me.
No,
that.
no,
Okay.
It's your spinal column.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. And how many vertebrae are on the spinal column?
I don't know. I didn't
33.
pay attention in school. No way.
Yes, 33 vertebrae.
That's numerology.
Yeah. And the two serpents going around the spinal column, you know what they represent, dude? They represent the masculine and the feminine, or in other words, black and white, yin and yang, the opposing forces of nature rising up your spinal column, and you reach enlightenment or rainbow body or kundalini, whatever culture they call it, just pick it.
Yeah.
It's reaching enlightenment through the reconciliation of those two opposite forces, moving up your spinal column. Your chakras,
Dude,
it goes up your spine.
That is just that's so crazy. And with the symbolism of the feathers, because there's also wings on the caduceus.
Right.
With the symbolism,
Yeah. There's wings.
there's
at the
wings
top.
at the top.
Yeah.
With that symbolism, like very often in life in general, but also in Harry Potter, it's like the serpent is seen as evil.
Yeah.
And then like angel wings and feathers and that's, associated with good. But even in the caduceus, it's like it's duality. The Herald's wand is made of both. It's duality. It's you have the good and the evil, and together it's almost like an amalgam, which is interesting
Yeah.
because it's wielded by an amalgam, Hermes Trismegistus.
Yeah.
That's some mind-blowing shit right there.
Yep. Damn, yeah, that really is nice.
That's crazy.
Now, not to go dark, but
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know the Baphomet? I know most people in their sane mind don't just like study the Baphomet, but like I have this, ever since I saw the Beings of Light, you know, with my family, everybody knows about that.
Yeah.
I've always had this itch, like I have to study the occult. I have to figure it out. I have to understand the spirit world. You know, these beings. Told my dad all that shit, and I went down this rabbit hole. Yeah, I've studied the Baphomet quite a bit and a bunch of other dark occult stuff, just to like analyze, you know.
Yeah.
And when you really analyze the Baphomet, it looks all scary and evil, and like it's a really dark symbol, and they use a lot of dark, shocking imagery to conceal the meaning behind it, so that us mundane, like profane, uninitiate sheep in their eyes, you know, we don't ever like find the wisdom within the imagery, and all they're doing is they're stealing imagery from the staff of Hermes. What it is the Baphomet is sitting there, his hands are like this, it's pointing up and down, that's as above, pointing up, so below, pointing down, spirit, matter, right? Hand pointing up to the spirit world, hand pointing down to the material world. First tarot card, the Magician, right? He has his hand pointing up, or he has a sword pointing up, and his other hand pointing down, as above, so below. Okay? The Baphomet also has, you're going to make me blush, man. He's got breasts.
Right.
He's got big honkers.
I like how you preface that.
Yeah.
You're going to make me blush.
I'm going to
man.
blush. He's got big honkers. But
you did not just say
but he's also
yo, that's too good, dude.
But he's also a male.
Oh, you did
he's
not.
also a male. Right.
Right.
So what that means is, and again, I'm not like some Satanist. I'm not some Luciferian. We're just reporting, man.
We're reporting.
Yeah, we're reporting.
Okay.
I'm just telling you what it means.
Yeah.
Do what you want with it. I don't go like, you know, believe in their dark shit, but I know what it means.
Of course not.
Yeah. They're stealing from the light side, you know, like the Sith steal from the light side. But anyway, what it means is the Baphomet is male yet female. Esoterically, it's the masculine and the feminine forces of, did I say that right? Masculine and feminine forces of nature.
Yeah.
He also has the white and the black serpent going up his spinal column. It's all just duality symbolism. And then it has a black moon and a white moon. It's just all duality. That's all it is. They're shocking you, and they're like, look at this scary demon goat. But like, it's just Egyptian duality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That and I think that's, like I said, I think that's one of the strongest themes in Harry Potter. Is it's all, I mean, from episode 1. I said episode 1 like it's Star Wars. This is the Star Wars episode, guys.
Yeah.
Remember? We said at the beginning? This is a Star Wars episode. It is. Yeah.
I think Harry Potter and Star Wars intrinsically have some like archetypal connections.
I think so too. I think that is true with a lot of like fantasy, specifically, and a lot of I mean sci-fi too, because I feel like that brings up a funny thing. I feel like Star Wars is more fantasy than sci-fi in a lot of ways.
For sure.
I mean, it's very ancient, and it's extremely spiritual.
The sci-fi is just the setting.
Oh yeah, exactly.
It's just the background.
It's all about. I mean, it's an ancient religion. I mean, even Han Solo says it at some point. It's some ancient religion, whatever mumbo jumbo. It's the fourth.
Dude, we've been talking about this for days now. I want you to, and then we'll get back to Harry Potter because I really want to. I want to get through your notes. Like that's some mind blowing shit. I want you to talk about the thing you told me in the book about the light and the Force.
I could just talk about it now.
That's what I'm saying. Do it now.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So, and it's funny. I was about to tell you something else from the book, so we'll just do it all at the same time because this is the Star Wars episode.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I'm reading The Light of the Jedi right now, which is one of the High Republic novels of Star Wars. It takes place like 200 years before episode 1. Yeah. So it's you know, the old Republic is like 1,000 years before episode 1.
It's like 4,000.
Yeah, it's way, but you know, 200 years before episode 1, it's still like actually pretty different in some ways, like the way that the Jedi view the Force. And also the Jedi are much more powerful with the Force.
Important to mention, just real quick.
Yeah.
Disney, right, since they bought Star Wars, have created and implemented the High Republic. It is Star Wars canon.
It is canon. Yeah.
It's important to mention.
Yeah, they kind of like scrubbed all the previous books from canon, which like a lot of them they still use as canon. Like
Yeah.
as more movies and shows come out, they start like dropping little pieces from those novels. Like, have you watched any Book of Boba Fett yet?
Not yet.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm
okay,
letting
I
it
won't.
get farther.
Okay, yeah,
I like to binge. Yeah.
Right. I won't say anything then, but they're dropping some. My jaw.
I can't
dropped.
wait to watch, dude. People are freaking out about it.
Episode 2, my jaw dropped, but
Nice.
it's really cool. But yeah, they're starting to put some of those tidbits in the movies and shows from those novels. But these new novels are fully canon, 100%. So anyway, I was telling Ryan, I've been sending you like
like
some
pictures of the book.
and I'll like circle stuff. They believe in the Force in a different way than like the Jedi that we're familiar with believe in the Force. These Jedi believe that the Force is light. That's why it's called the light of the Jedi. They literally believe in they believe the Force is light.
Yeah.
So a lot of them in the book, rather than saying like the famous saying "May the Force be with you," they say "May the light be with you."
Yeah.
Which is
And don't they like meditate on their inner light, or did I make that up?
They do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so, some of them do, but the main character of the book is a Jedi named Avar Kriss, and she is like very quickly becoming one of my favorite Jedi ever. And there's a bunch of reasons. First of all, I don't know if I told you this part, but she there's a whole chapter in the book that just describes the different ways that that Jedi feel about the Force and different ways that they perceive the Force. Well, Avar Kriss, she perceives the Force as a song. She calls it the song of the Force.
That's cool.
She sees it as a song. Which, you know what? Let's complete the trilogy.
That's Hinduism.
Is it?
Yeah, Shiva. It's the universe is like an eternal song and dance. That's the famous Shiva statue. He's dancing in a ring of fire.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, let's complete the trilogy here and talk about Lord of the Rings for half a second.
Okay. Yeah, might as well.
yes.
The 3 great trilogies.
Yeah. So,
series.
just real quick, in Lord of the Rings, the universe is created through song. Yeah. Iluvatar, the god above gods, he creates.
Well, remember the what I think it was Pythagoras that said that the harmony of the spheres, the celestial
go.
bodies in the heavens are creating a cosmic song. Yeah.
There's a lot of there's a lot of overlap here. I don't know. It's like that's what we were talking about in the last episode. It's like you don't have to believe every word of some of these ancient religions, but like they're sneaking this knowledge into a lot of these movies and TV shows and stuff like that. So there's some overlap, and I think that's where the truth is. Those overlapping things.
Yeah.
And we're talking about fiction, but
but what did Eliphas Levi say? Allegory is the mother of all dogma.
Yeah.
They slip truth into metaphor, just like Jesus, dude. Just like in the New Testament, Jesus said this is literally in the New Testament, in the canon book. He says he tells the public metaphor, and then he tells his initiated disciples the secrets.
Yeah.
The Gnostic texts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The masses get the metaphor.
Yeah. So Avar Kriss believes in the Force as a song, which is really cool. She quite literally hears the frequency of the Force as a kind of a chorus of these different frequencies. But there is one, she can hear the resonant frequency of the Force, and she does this incredible thing where she meditates and she with the Force she raises her lightsaber from the ground, ignites it, and spins it faster and faster and faster until the hum of her lightsaber exactly matches the resonant frequency of the Force. And when she does so, she is able to connect every Jedi within a certain radius through the Force.
Yeah.
And they can all feel each other's feelings by the way, they describe it in instantaneous timing. There's no matter the distance or anything, they can feel each other's feelings. They can communicate. They use it in the book to focus all on one object that is light years away. I won't say what it is for those who might want to read it, but so that was like this Jedi literally uses sacred frequencies to connect with all her fellow Jedi. It's a very esoteric way of looking at the Force. It's very collective consciousness.
Star Wars was always esoteric, dude. Always.
It's so cool.
You know what's mind blowing about that? So Archive 81 just came out like 2
Oh,
weeks
wait,
ago.
real quick. There's one more quote I wanted to say about the Star Wars thing, and then we can move on from Star Wars. So Yoda is like 900 years old in the movies, and so he's alive, in this book.
In the High Republic.
Yeah. And there is a quote in the book which is just so cool, where it talks about how powerful Yoda is with the Force, and how she can feel Yoda even but even light years away. She can feel Yoda's Force energy all the way from Coruscant. And she literally says in the book, as she's talking about how remarkable he is, as a nod to that, she says, not just crude matter indeed.
Oh, because that's
because that's the
he says
big
that in
quote.
episode 5. Yeah,
luminous beings
are we, not
this crude matter.
Yeah.
She says, not this crude matter.
That's
indeed.
mind blowing.
So cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, Archive 81.
Yeah. So back to the frequency thing.
Yeah.
In Archive 81, I'm not going to spoil it too much because it's just a mind blowing occult thriller.
By the way, people are DMing, our listeners are DMing me like, have you watched Archive 81?
Yeah, I got a message yesterday and I was like watching it.
Yeah.
But it's top notch. Whenever we do the Lovecraft episode, I want to really break it down.
Ooh, cool.
It's extremely Lovecraftian. And like, long story short, it's about this cult and they're trying to summon this like primordial entity, and they use tuning forks to match the resonant frequency of the spirit world.
That's wild.
They're slipping this frequency shit out into pop culture.
That's so
cool.
cool.
it's dope, dude.
Yeah, it's funny because I had never heard about sacred frequencies before you told me about them.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I hear about them everywhere.
Yeah.
I also feel in general that like this occult knowledge is
it's coming out. It's Aquarius.
Out. It really is.
It's going to come out.
I feel like I'm seeing it everywhere now. Like if it's not one thing, it's another. It's amazing. It's everywhere. But now also I get to retroactively look at things that I'm interested in and see like, holy shit, this is influenced.
It was there the whole time.
It was there the whole time. Yeah. It's really mind blowing.
The majority of like very popular fiction in some way or another is probably tied to occult symbolism. But anyway, I really want to know what more you found. I'm kind of like on the edge of my seat.
Yeah. Okay. So back to the feather and the serpent stuff, right? They're all over. First of all, we talked about how serpents are all over. First of all, Snape.
Snake.
Slytherin, the
pretty
entire Slytherin house. Their symbol is a snake.
Yep.
One of the founding fathers of Hogwarts is
Salazar Slytherin.
Salazar. I was trying to think of his
Which
first
is
name.
like salamander.
Yeah. Salazar Slytherin. The main baddie, Voldemort, it first of all looks like a snake.
Yeah.
He has like that weird snake nose.
Yeah. Also speaks to snakes.
Yep. Parcel tongue, which Harry also speaks. And one of the Horcruxes is Nagini, which is a snake.
Also slain by the sword.
Yeah, the Sword of Gryffindor, which is the flaming sword, like the Kabbalah Tree of Life, which is just crazy. But also,
I think it has a ruby in the hilt.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Which
freaking crystals, dude. It's a crystal sword,
everywhere.
like the damn Jedi.
Inescapable.
I told you they're linked.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's
lightsabers are crystal swords, bro.
Also, might not have touched this, but we got to bring it back to the Trinity, the Holy Trinity. The rings of power in Lord of the Rings have crystals in them. Yeah, all the rings of power.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can actually, in The Return of the King, when they are about to sail back to the undying lands of Valinor, you can see Gandalf's ring. And he has a thing in it. By the way,
nice.
You know that the new Lord of the Rings show is called The Rings of Power.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway,
that's $1 billion budget.
I know.
That's insane.
It's Jeff Bezos threw money at that show.
Yeah.
Just threw money at it.
Yeah. It's gonna be lit.
I cannot wait for that. But there's also probably just as much feather symbolism in Harry Potter. It's everywhere from the first book to the last book.
Phoenix feather, yeah.
Phoenix feather. They have.
That's Osiris symbolism.
Really?
Yeah, Osiris is animal or
Oh,
whatever
right,
it
the
is,
whole
the phoenix.
dying and reborn.
Dying
yeah,
and reborn,
yeah,
yeah, phoenix.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, every wand has some type of feather in it.
Mhm.
It has,
Right.
I don't remember what kind Harry's has in it.
It's a
It's a
phoenix
phoenix
feather.
feather. Right.
Yeah.
And Harry and Voldemort, their feathers come from the same phoenix.
Yep. It's also Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's made of Hollywood, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Because that's like some pagan stuff, right?
Druids.
Druids.
Yeah.
Druidic
Scottish
stuff.
druids. Yeah.
Yeah. They used wands made of Hollywood.
Yeah. Literally.
So wild. And then like, dude, like the hippogriff, the which is how they break out of the what's it? The prisoner. Yeah, the Azkaban. That's how they break out of Azkaban. In the last movie, they fly on a feathered dragon. They break out of Gringotts with feathered dragon. Yeah. There's literally feathers all throughout the thing. Yeah, Dumbledore has a pet phoenix.
Yeah.
And they utilize the feathers from that. Like it seems like it's this duality.
It also brings Harry the sword. In the second.
That's a good point. It literally brings Harry the sword.
Yep.
And so like the Caduceus with the serpent and the feathers, it's this duality thing. It's like
the phoenix fights the serpent too. It's they're symbolically tied.
That's pretty weird.
Also alchemical, the basilisk.
It's
cool.
It's really pretty wild. So yeah, going back to the ancient Aztecs, Quetzalcoatl, he's a flying serpent who's covered in feathers, which is representative itself in duality. It represents duality. That deity represents duality itself, and it is the deity of like knowledge, language, books, science, medicine. It's literally a feathered serpent. Voldemort. So yeah, Voldemort has the pet serpent. Dumbledore has the pet phoenix.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty wild. But to take the duality even further, it's like, the Sorting Hat tells Harry that he believes he belongs to Gryffindor or Slytherin, and that Harry has the choice. Also, Griffin is a feathered animal.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's I don't know. It seems pretty blatant. And then Harry has he can speak to serpents, but he's also he has this good and evil.
Well, also Jesus Christ is
him.
the Lion of the House of Judah, and Harry's in the House of the Lion, and he's the chosen one.
That was another one that I actually came across, and I didn't put it in. I mean, dude, there's so much. I spent probably I spent at least 4 or 5 hours really digging deep and getting research. There was so much more. It is dripping, dude.
Yeah.
And again, so J.K. Rowling was raised Catholic, but she is very into Freemasonry. She's like mega into it. And she's openly admitted like the symbology in Harry Potter is like directly Freemason, like the Deathly Hallows, like we said earlier.
Right.
It's literally the Philosopher's Stone.
The first book is literally Masonic legend.
Yeah.
From Nicholas Flamel.
Yeah.
By the way, the freaking the Philosopher's Stone in the first book, it's in an underground vault. I was gonna say lodge, but it's in an underground vault.
In Gringotts?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's in Vault 13.
I think that's right.
It's either Vault 7 or Vault 13. I can't remember, but those are Freemasonic numbers.
Uh-huh.
And in Freemasonic literature, Hermes Trismegistus went underground into a subterranean vault and came forth with the Emerald Tablets of Thoth.
It's always the underworld thing.
Yep.
It's always the going under and the coming back out with the knowledge and whatever.
Yes.
But there's also a ton of like messianic symbology with Harry. Like specifically with Harry, there's a lot of messianic stuff. Like even down to, I don't know, do you know about the whole thing with like Jesus and the deer? There's like apparently some story in the Bible that talks about like that the deer is represented. It's like a symbol to represent Jesus, something like that. But Harry's freaking Patronus is a deer.
Yeah.
That's like it seems pretty blatant. And then the dying and the resurrection thing. The Phoenix is the dying and resurrection thing as well. But a really cool thing that I had no idea about. I actually forgot about this too. Do you remember what was written on Harry's parents' tombstone?
No.
So there's a couple of significant tombstones here in Harry Potter, and I believe they both appear in the 7th book, and also in the 7th or 8th movie. You know, they were like, let's see, in the 7th book, that was that's when they're like running from Voldemort,
Right.
And
they're not at school anymore.
right. They're like in the woods. Which, by the way, I have to say, I said earlier that like I don't like one of them less than the other. I will say there was a period where when I was reading the 7th book where I was like, okay, get on with it. Like they're like running around in the woods and they're talking about they go to that town, like the town where Harry's from and the town where he was like where Voldemort tried to kill him.
Yeah.
And you know, and it was just like, okay, this is a lot. But anyway, when they go to the town where Harry's from, they visit Harry's parents' tombstone. And on their tombstone, it says, "The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death."
Oh, damn.
That's
And he later in the book, he dies, goes to the spirit world, speaks to his mentor Dumbledore, or the Trismegistus sage figure, and then he is reborn.
He is, by the way, Dumbledore is straight up like
Hermes Trismegistus. He even wears a hat like him.
Yeah, exactly like him. Yeah, but so the last enemy that shall be destroyed is death. That's 1 Corinthians 15:26.
Oh, wow.
It is literally it is a direct copy from the Bible, which is like insane. And then it also, this I think was only in the book, wasn't in the movie, but it Dumbledore's tombstone, "Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." That's Matthew 6:19.
That's awesome.
Those are both Bible quotes that are literally directly pulled from the Bible.
See, they're Christian books.
Yeah, exactly. You know what's funny? While I was looking at that, I had the same thought. Like, there was all this, like, dude, when it came out, there were like legitimate book burnings. There were like these big, like, churches would like pressure the kids of the congregation to, like, if they owned Harry Potter books, to like bring them and burn them in huge piles, like, because they thought they were like evil and witchcraft or whatever. And apparently that was like one of the first big book burning what would you call it, I don't know, occurrences since like World War II. Wow. That was seen as like
that's interesting,
a really, really big deal, that they did that. But yeah, I mean, it's really wild. There was like a whole resurgence of like satanic panic. When Harry Potter came out. I mean, I literally was not allowed to watch it.
My parents didn't
or read it.
My grandma was like really against it naturally, and my great aunt, her sister, was secretly buying me the books.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I wish somebody was buying me the books. Yeah, they should. Dude, my parents at one point, by the way, Mom and Dad, love you. I know you're not listening. Love you. They made me tear up my Pokemon cards at one point.
Yeah. Little Pikachu, man, he's a freaking mouse.
I had a freaking Gen 1 Squirtle too.
Oh.
We started buying the Pokemon cards like when they first started coming out, me and my brother.
Yeah,
I mean,
me too.
I had to have been 5 or maybe 6 or something when we started buying Pokemon cards, and I was so hype on them, and my parents made me tear them up. So I mean, it was just
that's traumatic.
Yeah, it actually kind of low key was, and I still jab my parents every now and then, like, well, if you didn't make me tear up my Pokemon cards,
maybe I'd be a well-adjusted individual.
Yeah, maybe I would have turned out a little bit. I'm playing, but
that's funny.
Which interestingly enough, the first thing that kind of broke that for my parents was I was like maybe 10 or 12 or something. And my friend at the time was my best friend, Garrett Jane, who lived like right down the street from me. Like, he was my like best childhood friend.
Yeah.
And he showed me the Lord of the Rings movies.
Oh, nice.
Time.
I didn't peg him as a nerd.
Yeah, well,
Because he was
no,
like
yeah,
an athlete.
Yeah, he and his entire he has like 4 brothers. They're all like
Yeah.
just super into sports and
Right,
I
right.
think actually one of his brothers might have played like college football or something. But
Nice.
they're so tall too. It's like insane.
Yeah.
But he showed me the first Lord of the Rings movie, and we watched it and whatever, and I showed my mom the movie, and she was like, this is some evil stuff. There's magic and whatever and blah blah blah. And I was like, Mom, Garrett's allowed to watch it, so I should be allowed to watch it too. So she was like, okay, so she was like, I'll sit and watch it with you, and if there's anything that's a little, whatever, a little too much, we're just gonna turn it off. And we started watching it. The first one, we started watching. Me and Garrett and my mom were watching it in my living room, and within like maybe a half hour to an hour, I look over at my mom and she is like glued to the TV.
Yeah.
She's like literally like this, like her eyes are wide open. She cannot look away from the screen, and she's like. And then afterwards, we finished the first movie. And like Garrett went home or whatever, and I was talking to my mom, and I was like, did you like the movie? And she was just like, yeah, I really loved it. And I was like, well, what's different about this and Harry Potter? I was like, why can't I just decided to get ballsy for some reason with my mom. I was like, well, how come I can't watch Harry Potter, but you'll let me watch this, which also has magic in it or whatever? And she's like, well, this is like about good versus evil, which I feel like is a little bit more appropriate than that. And I was just like, Mom, Pokemon's about good versus evil too. Ash and Pikachu are good, and they fight the evil Pokemon.
Yeah.
I
You know what's funny about that, dude?
I
love
tried
your
to
mom.
use that to leverage.
I love your mom. You know
Yeah.
what's funny, man? What's her all-time favorite movie?
the
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
It's about witches.
Oh, I don't even know why I had to think about that. That is, my mom bleeds Wizard of Oz.
It's about witches.
Yeah, it's literally about
Why is that okay?
witches and magic. You know,
In Disney movies,
what Disney movies are riddled with magic.
it's all magic.
It's all magic. I mean, from like the earliest Disney movies, it's all about magic.
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse is a literal wizard. Like
He's a sorcerer.
He's quite literally a wizard. Yeah, I don't know why well, I think I do know why actually. During the whole, there was this when Pokemon first started getting really popular in America. There was this wild surgence of like Christian pastors preaching sermons about how evil Pokemon
Because it's
was.
pocket monsters.
There's monsters in the Bible. There's demons in the Bible. Like it was a little weird. But anyway, I actually I remember watching a sermon with my parents. My parents made me watch a sermon about why Pokemon was evil.
Oh boy.
And interestingly enough, in my adult life, I found it and watched it again, and I was like, "This is so ridiculous."
Yeah.
And it's all these Southern pastors that are like, "Now it's called Pokemon because it stands for Pocket Monsters. Your children are walking around with demonic monsters in their pocket. They invite this into their lives." It's like that's literally exactly how the pastor
Dude,
sounds at these
I was in
sermons.
a church like that.
Like, oh my
Yeah,
god,
my pastor said it was pocket demons.
pocket demons. It would be called Pokemon
kind of a
if that were the
stretch,
truth. Yeah. So I think that I think Christianity. It's as much as I love a lot of the great things about it, the followers of Christianity oftentimes are quite like impressionable.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they'll hear something their pastor says and accept it as truth, law. Like
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
individual, their pastor could say something and they're just going to take it as if it is straight out of the Bible, which like I personally also believe that like not every word of the Bible is just straight up true. I think
It's not literal.
it's all metaphors. But I mean, if you like I don't want to tell people how to believe or disrespect in any way, but
But you're allowed to talk about like the traumatic
Oh, certainly.
belief
because
that you were a victim of.
yeah,
Nothing wrong with that.
exactly. No, and we did a whole episode about that. The hell episode. So I mean, I definitely have personal reasons that I have some of those feelings, but I think that whole Pokemon sermon thing is where, you know, that they started to get like, dude, when we would play Super Smash Brothers, like the OG Super Smash Brothers on Nintendo 64,
Right.
I was not allowed to play as Pikachu. My mom,
At that point, she's just like just putting her foot down.
yeah, it's just too much. It's just way too much.
Yeah.
I was not allowed to play as Pikachu in Super Smash Brothers.
Damn.
Just because it was like Pokemon is not okay. Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot to tell you this part of the Pokemon. I like that we're spending so much time on the Harry Potter episode talking about Pokemon. But to be fair, I got through most of my
Well, it's
notes.
relevant.
It is
Pokemon
relevant.
Arceus comes out next week.
Oh,
I'm so excited.
Which is, yeah. I'm trying to see if there's anything. I think I hit most of my notes. Yeah, it looks like I did. But anyway, one of the best parts about this Pokemon story is, so my retort to my parent, because listen, I can't sugarcoat it. I was a shithead kid. Like I was such a shithead kid. I was like super defiant, very hard-headed. I was very like, I know better than you. I'm 6 years old. I know better than my parents. Like I was just a shithead kid. But anyway, so my retort to them telling me, oh, you can't play Pokemon because it's evil or whatever. My answer to that was, well, it's like, it's only a teeny tiny bit. It's just a teeny tiny bit evil. It's just that it's just that they're monsters or whatever, right? That's the only part or whatever. So I went to school the next day, and when I got home, this is before they made me tear up the cards. When I got home, my parents, this is so whack. And this is the type of stuff that like a lot of Christian parents do and teach their children lessons in strange ways. But my parents made a sheet of brownies, right? What?
I'm in shock already.
They made a sheet of brownies, and like I've always been a mega sweet tooth, like since day one. I'm pretty sure I came out the womb with a lollipop or something. Like I've been
You're part of the Lollipop Pop Guild.
Yeah, exactly. Which, like, by the way, we should do a Wizard of Oz episode.
Dude, I'm down. I recently watched it.
It's so good.
4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah, that's hands down my mom's favorite thing ever is Wizard of
Super
Oz.
occult movie.
Oh yeah, we really should do an episode.
Yeah, dude.
Anyway, so we get home, and like me, my brother, and sister were all into Pokemon. My brother would wake me up every morning at 6 a.m. to watch the Pikachu show. Let's watch the Pikachu show. You want to watch the Pikachu show?
I did too.
Yeah. So we get home, all three of us, and they're like, "We made you this tray of brownies." And both my parents were like standing in the kitchen dramatically, and they like put the brownies in front of us, and we were just like, "Oh my God, brownies, yeah!" And my dad told me, "Yeah, we made you these brownies, but we just put a little bit of shit in them."
Oh my God.
Just a little bit of shit. And obviously they didn't do that.
Yeah.
But they told us, like, we just put a little bit of shit in it because, like, that's the same thing as saying something's just a little bit evil.
That's so extra.
How insanely extra is that? You're going to make a whole sheet of brownies to teach me a lesson? Just give me the brownies and don't put poop in them. Don't say that you put poop in the brownies. They're like, so you wouldn't want to eat these brownies, right? And I'm like, well, I mean, there's a chance I could get a brownie that doesn't have poop in it. I kind of still want the brownie.
I mean, it might still taste good.
Yeah. And they're like, so if you wouldn't want to eat this, then you shouldn't want to play Pokemon because it's evil. Even if it's just a little bit evil, it's still evil.
Jesus, man.
And they literally then made us sit there and rip
Checkmate.
up our Pokemon cards. Yeah, I know. Good one, Mom and Dad. Great. And they made me rip my Squirtle up, which traumatized me forever.
Hey, if you're watching this, Mom and Dad, I love you guys. I have no dog in this fight. This is just entertainment on my behalf.
Yeah.
I genuinely love your parents.
Oh my
And
God.
always
Yeah.
have.
My parents are awesome. They're great. And,
they're
and-
wonderful people.
Yeah. And they also
And they're also not like that anymore.
not at all.
No, they're very wonderful people.
Kind of my whole point with bringing that whole story up was that, yeah, they were impressed upon by their pastor, because also at the time they were going to Covenant Love, which is like a big super church, and the pastor did a whole sermon about Pokemon and why it's evil, and they were like, okay, we got to do exactly what the pastor says, so we got to make our kids tear up the thing, because it was one of those fear sermons.
Right. It was yeah, absolutely.
So they made us tear up our Pokemon cards because of it. And then like a year later got over it.
Yeah.
So it's like, this isn't even a thing you actually believe. It's just a thing. So the Harry Potter thing was pretty much the same. So after watching Lord of the Rings 1, 2, and 3 with my mom, then she came to be like, okay, she backed off a little. And she's like, if you want to read Harry Potter, you can. But at that point, I was already spoiled by Lord of the Rings, and I was like a little dumb elitist kid who was like, Lord of the Rings is better, so I'm not going to watch Harry Potter. And I've just ruined years of my life by not reading Harry Potter. Because
ruined years of your life.
Because it's truly one of the best things I've ever read / seen.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
It's, dude, the book, I just feel like if a person with free will, not any sort of bias, but just like free will, decides to read these books,
mm-hmm.
I genuinely believe that it's like not really possible to hate the story.
No, the story is inherently positive.
It's inherently really good.
It's
It's
truly
just a
really
damn good story.
Yeah, I mean, Harry fights for good. He quite literally fights for good and triumphs over evil.
Yeah. The only people I feel like that like genuinely could like read it and not like it is your typical like Fort Bragg, like army type dudes like, that's not lame. That's not swole enough for me. Like,
Yeah.
just
Buff Jesus.
sit down, dude.
Buff Jesus would not be a
Yeah.
fan of Harry Potter.
No, but Buff Jesus is pure of heart.
Yeah, true that. Yeah, true that.
Yeah.
Well, and another, by the way, just drop this here at
And
the
pure of body. That's why he's buff.
end. Very pure of body. Very pure of
Yeah.
body. One thing, just to drop this at the end of the episode, too, one of the biggest things of duality. What?
Buff Jesus.
Oh my God. Yeah, we gotta
Every episode.
Now we have to add to the Buff Jesus meme. We have to add him with a lightning bolt on his forehead.
With the Harry Potter
Again.
glasses.
Yeah,
Another Buff Jesus.
We got to keep compounding Buff Jesus.
Did we just drop him in here?
Yes, we did with
All right.
with the scar.
You're making my job harder.
Good. He's becoming an amalgam. Every episode, we're gonna add something new to him.
Eventually, he's going to have a crystal crown.
But speaking of, oh my God, a crystal halo.
Did you just drop 2 in the same one?
Oh, this has
Yeah.
been like 5 this episode. There's been a lot of crystal.
Yeah,
references.
yeah.
But speaking of
We
amalgams,
started off talking about crystals.
yeah. Speaking of amalgams, by the way, Harry and Voldemort are low key an amalgam.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
a part of Voldemort's soul is inside of Harry.
yeah, if you didn't,
And that's why he can speak to snakes.
exactly. If you haven't seen it or whatever, when Harry's a baby, Voldemort tries to kill him with this spell called Avada Kedavra, and he says it like Avada Kedavra. By the way, it's so funny. The way he says it is so funny. Harry Potter. Yeah, his voice is
No, phenomenal.
oh my
Phenomenal
god, such a cool
acting, though.
performance.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, he tries to kill Harry, and in doing so, because of the love,
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's literally
he's saved by love.
love
Yeah.
of his mother.
Yeah, he is saved by
Divine feminine, maybe?
divine
Is that a
fem-
stretch? I don't know.
I don't know.
It's the love of
He's
his mother.
saved by the love of his mother, and so the spell doesn't kill him, and rather splinters a part of Voldemort's soul into Harry,
Yeah.
and vice versa. So they literally become intertwined. At one point, like, Harry can see what Voldemort is seeing. Like,
Yeah.
They quite literally kind of
I
become
think that's
one
the
being.
6th book.
You know what's wild too? There's in the final battle in the last movie when they're like apparating together, flying all over the place.
Yeah.
There's a shot where they literally meld together.
Yeah,
Like, their
yeah.
faces literally meld together and look at the like camera.
Right.
So that's
Isn't it
that's-
crazy, though, that like they have all these spells and all this stuff, and love is the highest occult power?
yeah. And I think at one point Dumbledore says that like nothing trumps love.
Yeah.
Love is the most powerful form of magic. I think he says that exactly. Like love is the most powerful form of magic, which is like low key some deep occult shit.
Yeah, it's dope.
Yeah.
How much time do we have left?
I think we're good. I think we did it.
We're way over.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Why don't-
All right,
you can
cool.
talk.
Yeah.
You can let us know, man.
Well, I'm not going to interrupt y'all.
He was like, I don't know anything about Harry Potter, so I'm gonna just sit this one out, y'all.
That's exactly what I did.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Love that episode. That was fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Cool.
You ready?
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Weird things happen in the backyard of the Bledsoe house.
See it hovering, but it's just sitting